Trae Young is so special. Let's get into this. Trae Young was drafted 5th overall in the 2018 NBA draft, where he was originally picked by the Dallas Mavericks but traded to the Atlanta Hawks in that Luka Doncic trade. And ever since then, Trae Young and Luka Doncic have been compared to each other. If you look at the two, Luka Doncic is definitely the better player by a pretty significant margin, but either way, that doesn't really matter, it's besides the point. Trae Young is still a very valuable and very special player in this league for years to come for the Atlanta Hawks, and they definitely got a very good player in Trae Young. When everyone watched Trae Young in college, they saw Steph Curry with his absolutely insane three-point shooting and his ability to shoot from the parking lot similar to Steph Curry. But what a lot of people overlooked about Trae Young and even some scouts is his passing ability. When you watch Trae Young play this season or throughout his whole NBA career with the Atlanta Hawks, his passing ability and his playmaking ability really come out at you and really shows how special Trae Young really is in this league. In Trae Young's rookie season, he came into the NBA averaging a really good 8.1 assists per game, catching a lot of scouts and a lot of NBA fans off guard by how good of a passer and playmaker he is. When you watch the Atlanta Hawks game now or even a few years ago, you really see the defense really respecting all of Trae Young's teammates because of his ability to pass so well and get open shots for his teammates, which makes everybody on his team a threat to score. If you're a star player in this league, it's extremely important for you to be able to facilitate at least a little bit, but if you're a star point guard like Trae Young is, the ability to play make and get open shots for your teammates and easy shots for your teammates is extremely important. When you look at all the best teams in the NBA, they all have a really good facilitator on their team that can really calm everyone down in the clutch and get easy and open shots for their teammates. When you look at the Lakers, it's LeBron. When you look at the Nets, it's James Harden or Kyrie, kind of. When you look at the Clippers, they actually were the one team that didn't really have a playmaker, but they recently just acquired Rajon Rondo, which is an extremely big piece for them and really important for them going forward into the playoffs because he's an amazing facilitator. But what I really like to see from Trae Young is he came into the NBA as already a really good playmaker, but every single season he's gotten better. As I said before, he came into the league averaging 8.1 assists per game. In his second season, he got it up to 9.3, and this season he's averaging 9.5, so that constant upgrade in his abilities is really good to see. And when you look at the Atlanta Hawks this season, they're obviously much better than they were previous. They're currently the 5th seed in the NBA after just losing to the New York Knicks, where Trae Young actually did get hurt in this game with an ankle turn, and I hope he does get better and hopefully it's nothing crazy. But one of the biggest reasons why the Atlanta Hawks are so good this season is the fact that Trae Young is getting his teammates easy and open shots. Obviously the Atlanta Hawks got way better in terms of the talent they brought in this season, but if they just have talent, that's not everything. The fact that Trae Young is able to bring everyone together and get them open shots and run the offense effectively with his great playmaking ability, that really helps them a lot and is really significant to why they're so much better this year. And getting to other points of Trae Young's game, obviously even coming out of college, everybody knew that Trae Young was an extremely good shooter and he can shoot from anywhere, and his ability to do that really makes the defense, keeps them honest, and really forces them to guard him from really deep, which even more opens up the offense. When you look at Trae Young's three-point percentage, he definitely got it up. When he came into the league, he was shooting actually a pretty bad 32% from deep, but now he's shooting a pretty decent 35% from deep, almost 36%. But with Trae Young, you have to keep into account that he takes a ton of threes per game. This season, he's taking 6.4 threes per game, and when you're shooting almost 36%, that's pretty decent, which just shows how good of a shooter Trae Young really is. One of the things that Trae Young does struggle with, besides his defensive ability, which isn't great either, but one of the things offensively is his ability to finish at the rim. He has a pretty low finishing rate compared to other point guards in the league, but he has this season kind of counteracted that with his ability to make the floater when he's in the paint, and he's shooting pretty effective on floaters, so that kind of makes up for it. In Trae Young's defense, he's not the most athletic guy, so that obviously hinders his ability to finish at the basket at a high percentage, but going forward, I still think that he could be a pretty decent guy near the rim, and I would look for him to improve that a little bit as the years go on. But one of the best parts of Trae Young's game, and the reason I think he's such an efficient scorer in the league currently, is his ability to get to the free throw line. He has such a great great ability similar to James Harden to put their defender's hand on top of his hand and really make them foul him and get to the free throw line consistently. Trae Young basically every season, but especially this season, is one of the leaders in free throws attempted. This year averaging 8.8 free throws per game, which is extremely high. And obviously his ability to put the defender's hand on top of his hand and really make them foul him is really one of the biggest reasons for that. And Trae Young is shooting a great 87% from the free throw line, so most of the shots that he gets at the line he makes, which really helps his team win, of course. Another way that Trae Young gets to the line pretty easily is he gets in front of his defender, and when they're running back into him to try to defend him, he jumps back into the defender, causing a foul, and a lot of times you get an and one off that as well. As an opposing team or as an opposing defender or even just a fan just watching it, it can get pretty annoying to see Trae Young do this over and over again, but you have to admit it's an art and he definitely perfected it, and you have to give him a lot of credit. He learned how to draw fouls in the NBA currently, and he's one of the best guys at doing it. There's not too many guys that can draw fouls as well as Trae Young can. Obviously, I really do think that the ability for Trae Young to get to the line is really one thing that separates him from most other players, on top of the fact that, as I said before, he's also an amazing facilitator, as well as obviously anybody could see this. He's an amazing three-point shooter, shooting from the parking lot most nights. And this season, the Atlanta Hawks really brought in a lot of young and ascending players coming into this year, and this year they're looking to contend in the East, at least be a pretty good team in the East and a tough out in the first round or maybe even the second round. But going forward, they definitely have a lot of young guys that I would expect to improve, as well as Trae Young hopefully improving in the future, and they could be a really lethal team going forward. If the Atlanta Hawks really want to compete for a championship going down the road and in the future, Trae Young definitely still would need to figure out his defensive woes, and obviously he wasn't gifted with length and athleticism as a lot of other really good defenders have been, but either way, defense is about effort, and if Trae Young could just get slightly better on defense and be at least decent on the defensive end, that would really help the Atlanta Hawks significantly, especially in the playoffs, where in the playoffs it's a different game and the opposing team would really try to target whoever Trae Young was guarding. But obviously right now and going forward, I really do think that Trae Young is a really special talent in this league, and he's definitely going to be a great superstar going forward for years to come. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Trae Young could be a superstar for years to come and really be a very effective player and a really winning player? Or do you think Trae Young isn't that much of a winning player, mostly due to his ineptitude on the defensive end, and maybe he's not as good offensively as I think he is? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. Until the next time, peace out, guys.